Happy Saturday, and welcome to the Ram Ashram Satsang Weekend Workshop, where you'll learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Eddie, and I will be introducing our guest facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief overview of this Satsang session. If you direct your attention towards your screen, you'll see the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in our life. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin this practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important part of Satsang. When we meditate, we withdraw consciousness from worldly objects and direct it inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, thereby allowing us to obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of Satsang, inner Satsang and outer Satsang. An example of outer Satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer Satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior, but only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. The Satsang that you will learn today is an inner Satsang where we meditate in silence. Group session. These weekend workshops are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. By regularly attending these weekend workshops, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but only through the practice of inner Satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice Satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy, which we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today consists of 3 sessions: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a Satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, you'll receive instructions on how to meditate, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you have the opportunity to ask questions, or there'll be a panel discussion. And now, I'd like to introduce our guest facilitator for today's event. It is my pleasure to introduce an individual whose journey with our organization spans from childhood to her early 20s. She is the eldest daughter of Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji, and as a dedicated member, she has actively participated in satsangs both in the United States and India. Her unique experiences and insights acquired from her involvement with Ram Ashram Satsang make her an invaluable asset to our community. Today, as she joins us, she embodies the spirit of commitment and growth that our organization cherishes. Let's give a warm welcome to Ms. Parul Kumar.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the introduction, Eddie. Welcome to Satsang. This is a process that was started by my great-grandfather back in the 1800s. So it's something that has lived on through the generations in my family. My dad is actually usually the facilitator. He's in India facilitating some meditation sessions over there. But it's so lovely to see some new names here. If you guys do want to put your cameras on, that would be amazing. If not, I'm just going to get into some background about my great-grandfather, and then we will start the meditation session. So my great-grandfather started his journey pretty early on in his life in spirituality. He ended up meeting a guru of his own who helped him reach enlightenment. And then he went on the journey of reaching enlightenment multiple times throughout his life. Basically dedicated his life to the process of reaching higher states of consciousness and ultimately reaching the ultimate state of higher consciousness. now, this practice lives on, and he really simplified the process for everyone. So we come together as a group and we amplify the energy that we can create as one, as a group of people creating higher energies, higher consciousness together. But this practice also lives on in your day-to-day life, where you practice for 15 minutes in the morning and you practice for 15 minutes in the evening. I'll walk you through the process, but we can absolutely do this in our daily lives. And what it does for us is it clarifies your soul, and it helps to cleanse the energy that we might be going through throughout the day. So, obviously a really big part of this is reaching inner peace. And the way we do that is by committing to the meditation, committing to the silence, so that we're able to cleanse our souls and our energy on a daily basis. So what it does is it actually, it clarifies your mind and it purifies your heart. But what's beautiful about this process is that the focus is not on your third eye, which a lot of practices will focus on, is, entering the third eye, which is, one of the places where a lot of knowledge and wisdom does sit. But when you think about the heart, it's the middle chakra. From, we have our root and then we have the crown. The middle is a grounding place for both the spiritual world and the material world. So when we focus on the heart, the ego doesn't really have a place to thrive anymore, because we're centered, we're grounded both in the spiritual world and the material world together. But, our soul is elevating without really knowing. The ego doesn't really have a space to come in and think about the process. We are just clarifying, cleansing, and reaching those higher states of consciousness, but also with, a clear heart, a genuine, pure heart, and a clear mind. So that's just part of the process. This is a beautiful system. And the cool part is we get to reach enlightenment from the comfort of our homes, which is, such an amazing thing to say, that we can, sit in our homes and still reach these higher states of consciousness, still have families, still have jobs, and, still be committed to our souls. So, everyone on this call, you've taken a step today to, choose inner peace and to choose the light in your life, and to choose, yourself, choosing to channel this higher state of energy that you can then take into other things you do, whether it's interactions with people at work, in your home. This is something that I always go back to, even if you have, a hard conversation with someone, or, life cannot, is not always easy. You can always come back and meditate at any time of the day and bring your own energy back. This is like your own spiritual anchor. And you can always come back to the light. You can always, there's a lot of things in life that you can't control, but, clarifying your energy, cleansing your energy is something that is in your control. And you can do this at any time of the day. You can just come back, let that light, immerse your whole body, and then go back into your life and bring that good energy to other people as well as to yourself, and bring that higher state of consciousness into your practice on a daily basis. So on that note, I would love to start getting into the meditation. It's going to be a 30-minute meditation. And we'll pull up the slide in a second here. So the process of our meditation is that we actually start with music, which, helps you get into the energy of, calming down your mind. So the music will begin. As the music begins, close your eyes, relax your body, and then allow a beautiful bright light to appear in front of you. This is Guru Maharaj's light. So imagine this light in front of you and allow it to enter your heart space first. And as it enters your heart, allow it to immerse your entire body, from the top of your head all the way down to your toes and your fingertips. And then allow the light to go out of your body about like 20 feet out of your body from every direction. And then slowly just go into a silent meditation. The music will, transition into silence. We'll have a 30-minute meditation. No worries if, your monkey mind is going off or anything, just come back to the light. If you're having a lot of thoughts, just allow the thoughts to, go by as if it's a movie, instead of getting fixated on it, just allow it to, flow away, and then come back to the light whenever you're having those issues. And then focus on the silence, just focus on entering your higher mind, and then, enter that space of the higher consciousness. We'll be there for 30 minutes. You'll hear the music come back in after the 30 minutes. Try to keep your eyes closed even during that process, because you really want to come back to your body during that time. And you can like move your fingertips, move your toes when the music comes back in after the 30 minutes. And then we will have a closing note after the meditation is over. And then we'll just close out. So let's get started.
Okay, so today Parul had mentioned that Guru Maharaj has left us this system of satsang that we can practice to achieve higher states of consciousness. Is something that we can integrate into our busy lives, that we could do at home and still achieve that high state of consciousness. And I just wanted to make mention that it doesn't matter what your religious affiliation, this is a system, a scientific method that you can use to help you in whatever particular religion you're in. And for example, in the case of Christianity, they have the cross, and this is a symbol of what Parul was talking about earlier, and that is the higher consciousness or the spiritual self, which is the vertical bar, and then the lower soul or the lower self, which is the horizontal bar. That point of where they intersect is the manifestation of the heart, or where the heart is, and it's the equalizing force. Now, when that's significantly purified, the ego then behaves in accordance with the higher self, and that's called salvation. So, like I said, it's a scientific method, and the same concept applies to any religion. So, it doesn't matter what you do. Anyone of any religious affiliation can practice this method. It's scientific. So at this time, I'll ask Parul, could you please take questions and then close us out?
Yeah, thank you, Eddie. That was such a great explanation. Yeah, I'll take any questions if anyone has. It's really great to see some new faces here. So if you want to hop on, feel free. And also, if you've been here, feel free to just give some feedback or some comments of how today's meditation went, or any questions that you might have. And you can drop it in the chat too. If anyone wants to share, their own experience, feel free.
Thank you, Eddie and Parul. That was brilliant. That was so blissful. Somebody asked when Sanjeev Bhaiya is going to be back. I would beg to submit that Sanjeev Bhaiya is here through Parul, and so is Guru Maharaj. They're all here.
Yeah,
and you can feel that presence. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. And Dad will definitely be back on Tuesday. So. Anyone else? Just any experiences, any, feedback on the meditation? Any questions?
I just want to add, I really like the idea when you said that you should feel that white, that energy is across you around 20 feet. I think I've heard that for the first time, but it actually made difference today when I actually was doing meditation and I actually felt it like 20 feet both sides of my body. It was very different than how I would have usually felt. So yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that's a really big one actually, because it's not just about your body, it's the fact that you're becoming one with this light.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you let it go into it can go further than that, right? So it's like it starts with just your entire aura, and it can go like even further, like the whole room, the whole house,
Yeah.
the whole city, the whole world, So yeah, so that's really powerful when you let it just go through even past your body. Someone asked in the chat, how long should one meditate daily? I would say, start small and make it bigger. Meditating is like building a muscle. Like it's like going to the gym. When you're first building a muscle, you might just hop on the treadmill for 5 minutes, but then you end up going for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour. So start small, start with, 5 to 10 minutes and turn it into 10 minutes to 15 minutes. The ideal timing would be 15 minutes, morning and evening. So you're starting the day, clear, and you end the day no matter what happened, again, clear. And you get to go to sleep in that clear state of mind and soul. So yeah, 15 minutes is the ideal. I do think you can go past that though. If you're ready for 30 minutes or an hour, go ahead and do that. Thank you for joining. Any last questions? Any comments? Yeah, thank you guys for being here. If you guys, keep joining Tuesday and Saturday, my dad will be back. He'll be going even deeper with you guys. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, Happy New Year, guys. Such a good note to start the year on. All right, I think on that note, we'll close out for today. Oh, wait, we got something in. How about breath? How about the breath is very short any practice? In this system, we're focusing on the light. So that's the main focal point is the light. With, your breath being short, Eddie, do you want to hop on and say something about your breath being short?
No, you're correct. Just breathe naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
the focus, it shouldn't be the breath, but if you want to expand on that. If someone's having shortness of breath, do you have any suggestions?
yeah, it should go away. I mean, if they're experiencing any emotional changes, there may be a period of time where that's true, but it'll eventually go away and their breath will regulate naturally. That's what this process does.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think, I think with time, it should get easier. And thank you for joining. I hope it was a good session. All right, I think if that's it for today, thank you guys again for joining. We will be here every Tuesday and Saturday to meditate with you. And feel free to, continue this every single day, morning and evening. All right. I think we should close out on that note. And Eddie, thank you so much as usual.
Thank you, Parul. Great having you.
Amazing. Can't wait to have my dad back next week. All right.